Jackson, which means that our law school loans were much more than his. But I will tell you, enjoy law school as much as possible, because when it ends, you're closer to even adulting more, because now your name goes on every document without your supervising attorney signing. It's like, oh.
Yeah.
But so, what type of law do you want to practice?
I'd like to go into a public defender's office.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, she actually did her paper in law school about specialty courts. So,
Mental health.
mhm.
Oh,
Yes.
awesome. You know, we need more people who are willing to do that. I mean, it's a hard job, but I think it's very rewarding. And I always tell students that I would mentor, and they decided they want to do criminal law, whatever. I said, look, criminal law is not one of those fields where you're going to become a multimillionaire.
Yeah.
So if you're looking for that, no.
She'll be a PI lawyer or something.
Yeah, but it's very rewarding, and you're going to meet some great people. And I will tell you, on the criminal side, you have some attorneys who are willing. It's like a camaraderie. Of course, you always have some attorneys who don't feel it that way, and they're just trying to shove the knife in your back. But a majority of them want to help and do whatever they can. So welcome. It's going to be great.
So nice to meet you.
You too.
Yeah.
And if you ever want to come by and see anything, just let us know.
Awesome.
You're more than
Thank
welcome
you.
anytime.
Yeah, I was telling you, you always quite often have interns here, and you're very active with that, trying to fulfill that
Yes,
education.
and we're actually right now in a jury trial.
Oh,
So if you want to come in and watch the jury trial, it's a murder case. We're going to start up at 10:30 after we finish with this docket. And after I finish, with a couple of pleas, then we'll
okay.
do this. Yeah.
There's something to learn. It's the beauty of this one.
The attorneys who are trying it are Lauren and Megan on this side, and on this side is David.
Great,
So,
yeah,
yeah.
great lawyers.
Yeah.
Awesome. Sounds good, Judge. I appreciate your time.
Sure. Hello.
The trial at 10:30, but we have mental health court this morning, right?
Yes, but the trial is going to start at 10:30. This will be done before then.
It's 3. And you provide some.
Oh, and do you need the list of people I meet up now?
No, I'm talking about every inmate we have. And then thank you. Yes. All right.
Oh, and have y'all opened the front door?
No, I haven't, because don't you want to do the briefing before starting mental health court?
No, we're going to take the inmates first.
Okay.
Just 1 second. Let me. Oh, well, wait a minute.
And then he caught me.
All right. Is there any attorney who's here who's ready? All right. And who is your client? Can I see? Thank you. Cindy, are you ready? Yes. Yeah. All right. This is not an application. He can come down. Court is calling 2026 CR 00761 State versus Mike Hernandez. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Right up the state.
Defense.
Tim Molina for Mr. Hernandez.
And are you Mr. Hernandez?
Yes, sir.
Counsel, have you received all discovery? Did you review it with your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Hernandez, did you review the true bill of indictment with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
I believe we are, Judge.
Judge, the state's actually waiving
waiving-
the enhancements.
In that case, Judge, we waiving the proceeding on count one.
All right, thank you. And I'm assuming there's no objection to the waiver?
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. No objection.
All right, did you review the court admonishments with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
You're charged with possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1, less than 1 gram. That's a state jail felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 180 days up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $10,000 fine. If you have a plea with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you, and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. You have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent. By entering this plea, you're giving up those rights. Did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
He has been able to assist me in this defense, Your Honor.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Hernandez, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
If you're not a U.S. citizen, by entering this plea, you will be deported, denied naturalization, and re-entry. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
According to the plea, punishment is to be assessed at 123 days in the Bexar County Jail under 1244. There's a $600 fine. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense and state?
It is plea, Judge.
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in both places?
Yes, ma'am.
By signing that, you're waiving your right to appeal. The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, any such motions?
There you are.
Then to the offense, how do you plead?
No
Guilty?
contest.
No contest? State any evidence?
Judge, you're up to exhibit number 1, including all charges.
No objection.
All right, did you review the waiver and state, you may be excused. Did you review the waiver and stipulations with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there'll be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. After reviewing state's exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Just that my client does have, yesterday at least, 123 days in the Bear County Jail.
Mhm.
We would ask the court to consider satisfying the judgment.
The court will find you guilty as previously stated. The court will sentence you to 123 days in the Bear County Jail under 1244. There's a $600 fine, time and money to run concurrent. Court will give you credit for any time served. There's to be no residing in households with minors. And the court will show that the judgment is satisfied. Did you review the trial court certification of defendant's rights to appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Because it's plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what that is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so here's the thing. Obviously, you have a drug problem. You need to take care of that. Otherwise, you're going to end up back and forth at somebody's jail or in somebody's prison, or either worst case scenario, somebody's going to be identifying your body because you never know what you're taking. There are plenty of places in Bear County that can help you. If you're released from custody, because I see that he had a warrant somewhere else.
He's being pulled to Comau. He has a case pending there.
All right. Well, make sure you get help, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. All right.
Thank you, sir.
Yes.
So we're
Zoom.
today.
Yes.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Can I appear by Zoom as well? Or just, I'll, whenever it is, just text me
Okay,
about it and I'll come back.
All right, so are you guys ready on Miguel Morales? All right. All right, Mr. Morales? Okay, so on this case, it's set for discovery. Where are we on discovery?
We have made substantial strides, Judge, but we are still pending an extraction from the cycle.
Okay, how long is this extraction going to take? Because we keep coming back.
I mean, the problem is once they have it, then getting it to me is another step in the process because the programs are slow and take up a lot of space. And
All right, so
There's
defense,
flow.
if you'll make sure, and guys, you're all going to have to confer off docket on this extraction thing.
okay,
So I'm going to give you guys another discovery setting,
Okay.
and I'm expecting the extraction to be done. So I'm going to recall you all for 60 days. I thought about giving you 45 days, but with the extraction, so I'm going to give you guys 60 days, and I'm going to expect some movement by that time because this case has been on the court's docket for a while.
I mean, the extractions often shut my laptop down.
Yeah, I don't know, Judge. I'll get the, my understanding it's on a USB, so I'll get that from BCSO and get it to our IT to make it viewable.
Okay, so Ms. Ferguson is not here, but let me give you your 60 days. Just 1 second. My computer is moving so slow. All right, so what we're looking at, guys, could everybody pull out their calendar and see if this is a good date for you, Miss Ephraim, because I know sometimes you're on vacation. Um, well, you know, September 14th, according to the calendar, it is National Cream Filled Donut Day and
Yeah.
National Eat a Hoagie Day.
But I mean, it's right after Rosh Hashanah. I don't know if you want me to come on the
No,
15th.
I understand that.
Okay.
So you know what? Let's see if we can, I'm going to give you all some more time. Let's see if we can put it at the end of September then.
That would be great. Thank you, Judge.
Let me see. All right, so what we can do is we'll do September 28th. So at that time, I'm expecting some movement on the extraction.
Okay.
All right,
Okay. Thank you, Judge.
all right. And we'll get you a reset form. And once you sign the reset form, you will be excused. Thank you for dressing appropriately for court.
Yes, ma'am.
All right,
Thank you, Judge.
What's the date, Judge?
September 28th.
We'll be right back.
That's 1 second.
Coach,
Yes.
I just wanted to introduce myself. My name is Kate Gonzalez. I'm an intern with Family Violence
Oh,
Upstate.
hi.
So I came here to see your court and everything like that. I just wanted to make myself aware.
Well, welcome. And I love the colors you have
Oh,
on
thank
today.
you.
But you're welcome to come down anytime. And if you have any questions about anything, just let us know.
Oh, sounds
And we're actually starting a trial at 10:30. So if you're around for the trial, yeah, please stay.
Thank you for letting me observe. It was a pleasure meeting you.
Oh, you're welcome. So what are your plans?
Going to law school, taking the LSAT in August. If I need to, I would take it again in September, but
Take it again. Just take it one time. You know what I always tell people? Your goal in taking the LSAT is just because it's required to get into law school, right? Once you take the LSAT, see if a law school will accept you, and your goal is to get into law school.
of course.
And then once you get into law school, your goal is to graduate.
Of
Then your
course.
goal is to pass the bar. I have yet for anybody to ask me, hey, what did you score on your LSATs? And I thought the LSATs were so unnecessary. Unless they changed it, when I took it, it's a lot about logic.
It is.
I remember they gave us this one question. They give you a fact pattern,
Mhm.
and then they have like 80 questions for it. One of the questions I remember, I was so tired. And I was just like, just pick C. I'm tired because the test is so long. So it was a Thanksgiving dinner. And there were about 40 people at the Thanksgiving dinner. And they give you the name of all the 40 people, describe them a little bit. Some people have red hair, some people have brown hair. And then they'll say things like, question number one, who sat next to Jim? And they will give you this scenario where Becky won't sit next to anybody with red hair. Jim doesn't like this person. And then you think, oh, I got it. But then they'll come back with, John will not sit across from women. And so it's just all over the place.
Of course.
And then by the time you get to question 80, you're just like, what the heck? So yeah,
No, I
it's
understand.
fun.
I think
You
so.
enjoy
It is.
it.
Yes,
Yeah.
I do. Thank you. It was a pleasure meeting you.
No.
You want a copy?
Yes, please.
Yes, please.
Judge, he should be on Zoom at 10:05
All right, thank you.
from that time. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. That's it?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, thank
Judge, you don't
you.
need him no more.
Oh, no, just want you, just make sure you appear in court on that day, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you.
No, just give it my attorney for the rest or whatever.
Oh, just give your, make
But
sure
she
your
took
attorney
off.
has that.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Have a good day.
Oh, my first time in a respect where else.
Oh, yeah, your reset form looks great. Yes. Okay, and here's that. All right.
Judge, you said Lorraine wasn't convicted?
Yes, she has, Mr. Lodge.
Cause that order to remove GPS.
Oh, wait a minute, just one.
I don't understand what's taking so long.
Oh, wait a minute, I got.
It's me.
Oh, that's you.
See, when I hear the
doorbell? Yeah.
Dang, somebody's there.
So, Deputy Laura, we're just waiting for them to zoom in. Then he can, take them off.
I don't have these problems with 144th.
Yeah, because they don't do Zoom.
I wouldn't know.
See, my problem is I try to make it convenient for everyone.
Are you ready to take the?
Yes. Yes. But until then, I have to do God's work.
Oh, you do?
You gotta give the lane first.
Yeah.
Starting to keep that in the bag.
1:30.
There's there was some defendant. I could have cut your hair.
Yes.
Sure you good.
He was going to barber school.
Blow out taper. Use some earrings.
No better than
Yeah. Okay, I never knew what an Edgar was until you guys educated me on the Edgar.
my work was an editor.
Oh, you just go to juvenile. Be it everywhere.
Like the worst.
It's not good.
It's like, if you watch the movie Dumb and Dumber,
Yes.
Oh my God.
he had an Edgar.
See, we used to call those haircuts back in the day the Buster Brown. You remember you had the Buster Brown shoes?
That was before my.
Oh, look at her. That's before her time. Help me out.
We're millennials over here.
Yeah, the Buster Brown where they would do the haircut. She's like, it's before her time.
It's the same as the Three Stooges.
Yeah.
Trying to get them on.
Oh, do we have anyone else?
Only whenever Renee's done.
Okay, thank you.
We show the time.
Oh, Vashawn. Since we have the team here, maybe they can give us some advice on Mr. Nellum. But it,
Or they.
yes, I'm telling you. Sally, we have you. Yay.
Anything for you, Judge.
I feel the love. I feel the love.
Right.
We'll be right back in and then we'll get back.
Oh, no problem.
Like for Halloween.
Our new interpreter just wanted to be on here.
It's gonna be for the trial at the.
Right. Yes, for the trial. Is it set for 10:30?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
And that's the defense attorney, David. This is an interpreter.
Hi, how you doing? Nice to meet
Welcome.
you. Do you need all the information? Terrible Marvel, what in?
For Halloween.
You ever forget?
With banana.
Yeah.
But his birthday.
We're still like the first.
Oh, we all know.
To use English speaker. I think there's second else was probably gonna be. There's something on the casual to, that's in Spanish.
And then you.
Spanish. So, that's, so, it might have to go.
Deputy Laura, I'm gonna go grab some water.
Already. So we're just trying to get that worked out.
There's a federal time we need to capture.
So, Mr. Lodge, then we'll call you back. They're currently in a jury trial. So, do y'all want to call him back on, what is this, the 17th? Y'all want to call him back on the 23rd?
Yeah, yes, Your Honor. That's
All right. Mr. Lodge, we're going to bring you back on the 23rd. They want to make sure that you get all the credit that you're entitled to, okay?
He should be up on in a few minutes, Judge.
All right, thank you.
George, not here yet.
Okay.
We're waiting for.
Oh.
I was just like.
Always say, unless you learn something new every day, then why are you on the planet, right? I have learned something that people may be shocked by it. People may be disappointed. Tom Holland has never seen The Matrix. I hope that doesn't change anybody's opinion of him, because I know some people who claim they've never seen the Ten Commandments.
But I mean, Tom Holland's not coming out in any kind of remake or sequel to The Matrix, is he?
No, but I mean, there are certain things on the planet that you should have seen. I don't care how old you are or how young you are. Sometimes people will say, "Oh, Judge, I've never seen that. I'm so young." No excuse. Have you seen Wizard of Oz? I mean, Ten Commandments is a staple. At least I know in the Black households, Ten Commandments is a staple in the Black household. Am I right? I mean, you sit there and you watch the Ten Commandments.
I don't know if it's the Black household or if it's the Baptist.
No, trust me, it's the Black household.
Okay.
Cindy, you've never watched it?
I'm Baptist and we watched it too growing up.
Did you watch it with your cousins?
Probably.
Now, aren't they talking about remaking that?
Okay, that's nonsense. That should not be done. I don't protest, but I will protest that.
They're doing that with everything. I mean, you know, True Grit, they remade it and blew it.
Yeah.
Although
I didn't watch
they
it.
claim, you know, they gave what's her name an Oscar,
Mhm.
and all she did was copy what was it, Kim something,
Mhm.
the actress in the original True
Yes.
Grit. It was the exact same acting style. I mean,
Oh, wow.
and so I was like,
I don't remember there being a second
Kim
one.
Darby.
Yes. Oh, I remember Kim Darby. Yeah, you know, True Grit should not be remade. And you know what else should not be remade? Although you said you're going to watch it, and you broke my heart when you said you'd never seen it before. He's never seen Five Card Stud.
I need to leave because
You've never seen Five Card Stud?
get in trouble.
Is this where we shout at her? She walks away and says, "Shame, shame, shame."
Matrix, yeah, me.
I'll watch it this weekend.
Oh my goodness. Can somebody have, Lauren, have you seen The Matrix?
Of course.
All right. Rick, have you seen The Matrix?
I've seen The Matrix
David, have you seen The Matrix?
several times.
All right. Somebody call upstairs. Megan needs to be removed from the courtroom.
Was disappointed with the last movie and its ending.
Oh, yes.
Megan and I will do our trial prep together.
Yes.
Thank you, Jess.
Oh, you're welcome. All right, guys, he's here.
Okay, let me get him sworn in.
All right.
I can get him
From yesterday.
Yes.
I know.
All right, Mr. Zavala.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, they're going to swear you in, and then we're going to take up your matter.
I thought you swore me yesterday.
Okay,
Let's put you on the camera. Let's see,
that's what I did.
see what you look like.
They swore him in yesterday?
I don't think so.
I'm sorry, I think I'm mistaken.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure before I.
All right, Mr. Zavala, you're going to be sworn in. Okay.
Over here, where are you going? In front, you see the green light? Oh, right here.
Yes.
Up there.
Yes. All right, a little bit over. Over.
You need to get on it.
No, that's fine.
All right, you may proceed. We have a new clerk who's swearing him in. Mr. Zavala, if you raise your right hand, please.
And what is your name?
Genaro Zavala.
And are you the defendant in this case?
Are you the,
And are you familiar with the exhibits and stipulations and use of literature for the best of your knowledge to help you God?
I can barely hear what you say. It's like muffled.
Oh, this is already.
Sorry. Can you hear me?
are you able to hear Mr. Zavala?
His audio.
Clear.
Okay. Are you familiar with the exhibits and stipulations and use of literature correct to the best of your knowledge to help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And are you familiar with the jury waiver?
Yes, ma'am.
And has your attorney explained your constitutional rights and do you understand them?
Yes, ma'am.
And is it your desire to enter this plea and waive your rights to a jury trial?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And is this your signature right here?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Excellent.
Never doing that earlier.
Yeah, she did great work.
All right, Mr. Zavala, you can put your hand down.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask you about the 2-for-1 deal.
We'll ask the judge about that.
Okay.
All right, the court is going to call 2026 CR 0000490 State versus Genaro Zavala. Can I have parties announced for the record?
Rick Pena for the state of Texas.
Michael DeLeon for Mr. Zavala.
And are you Mr. Zavala?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Zavala, you have a right to appear in person. You're appearing by Zoom. Do you agree to proceed by Zoom? Do you agree to proceed by video, Mr. Zavala? I'm sorry, what?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Court will find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily consented to appear by Zoom. Counsel, have you received all discovery and reviewed it with your client?
We have, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Zavala, did you review the true bill of indictment with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you waive the reading?
We do.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
We are not, Your Honor. We are proceeding on count 2 only. We will waive count 1. Additionally, Your Honor, we will waive the repeat offender enhancement.
All right. Any objection?
No objection, Your Honor.
Mrs. Zavala, did you review the court admonishments with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. You're charged with assault, family, household with a previous conviction as a third degree.
Attention the building, David Andrews food truck. We post outside the main jail.
All right. Food
truck
Right.
post outside the main jail until 2 p.m.
All right. So the food truck is going to be outside the jail till 2 p.m. for anybody who's interested. All right. So the range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. If you have a plea with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. You have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent. By entering this plea, you're giving up those rights. Did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
He has, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
I do.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes.
Mr. Zavala, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Anyone promised you anything other than the plea? I'm sorry. Anyone promised you anything other than the plea bargain agreement?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
If you're not a U.S. citizen, by entering this plea, you will be deported and denied naturalization. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
According to your plea, punishment is to be assessed at 4 years in the prison. The state is taking in consideration 2025 CC 015642. There's an affirmative finding of family violence. There's to be no contact with the complainant, and there's a $1,500 fine. Did you understand with an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition? If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. And you're also not allowed to be designated as primary custodial parent. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Did both parties understand that to be the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
Right, in just one moment. All right, Mr. Zavala. Mr. Zavala, did you understand the waiver of appeal paragraph? And did you review that paragraph with your attorney and sign it in both places?
Yes, ma'am.
By signing that you're waiving your right to appeal, the only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, any such motions?
No motion, Your Honor.
Then to the offense, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Contest.
State, any evidence?
Yes, Your Honor. This state will offer into evidence as Exhibit 1 with all attachments.
No objection, Your Honor.
All right. Did you review the waiver and stipulations with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there'll be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. And just give us one moment, Mr. Zavala.
Ma'am. Sensibility on floor is doing your temp checks to the ship commander at the time. I say again, doing all your temp checks to the ship commander at this time.
No me puede oír.
Correction, 8 hours, drinking your 10 chips to check at this time. I say again, 8 hours, drinking your 10 chips to expend at this time. $275 officer dot 5540, $275 officer dot 5540.
All right, so the court is admitting without objection states exhibits 1 and attachments. Court has reviewed the same. Court will find there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
We are, Your Honor. The only request we would have is that the court follow the plea agreement for 4 years, but also Mr. Zavala was asking for 2-for-1 credit. It's important to him that he gets all the credit that he's entitled to.
All right, Mr. Zavala, the court is going to find you guilty, sentence you to 4 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served. Take in consideration 2025 CC 015642. There's an affirmative finding of family violence. There's to be no contact with the complainant. There's a $1,500 fine, time and money to run concurrently. I'll request the therapeutic community. You need to work on your anger management skills. And there is to be no unsupervised contact with minors. Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendants, Defendants' Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Because it's a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction and an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what that is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. And Mr. Zavala, with regards to 2-for-1 or 3-for-1, the Bexar County Jail is in charge of that. What I can tell you, if you've spent 30 days in the jail, I can give you credit for 30 days. But the sheriff's department is in charge of your receiving 2-for-1. They're only going to give you 2-for-1 if you've been in general population and you have not caused any issues. You're wearing orange, so obviously you're in general population. If you're a trustee, they'll give you 3-for-1. It doesn't appear to the court based upon your uniform that you're a trustee, but they are in charge of that. I have zero jurisdiction or authority to give you 2-for-1. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you, sir.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Counsel. Thank you, Deputy Laura, for getting that done. All right, so guys, we're going to proceed. The court is calling 2023 CR 4371B State versus Marco Antonio Moreno Vasquez. We have the interpreter here. If you could raise your right hand for me, please. Do you solemnly swear and affirm you will faithfully translate from English into Spanish and Spanish into English, so help you God?
I do, you are.
All right, you can lower your hand if you'll state your name for the record. All right, and could you spell that for the court reporter?
Lupita. Last name B as in boy, UIPRON.
All right, and could I have the parties announced?
Megan Galloway and Lauren Espinosa for the state.
David A. Garcia, attorney for Marco Moreno Vasquez, for ready, Judge.
All right, let's bring the jurors in. Oh, sorry, just 1 second, Deputy Laura. Yes.
The mic is not working.
Oh, I have them off
Okay.
because it was a, I'll turn them on right here.
Okay, all right. All right, we're ready.
All right, for the jury.
All right, everyone, please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a different interpreter. That interpreter has already been sworn in. And state, I believe it's your witness. And could you restate your name for us, please?
Christina Ibarra.
All right, and just make sure you speak in the microphone. And to the interpreter, are you able to hear her?
Yes, I am, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. State, you may proceed.
Thank you, Judge. Investigator Ibarra, I'm gonna approach you and again, show you these exhibits 211 and State's Exhibits 212. Now, when you seized the firearms which have been admitted into evidence as State's Exhibit 211A and State's Exhibit 212A, did each firearm contain live rounds?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and are those rounds that would be contained within, for regarding State's Exhibit 211A, the live rounds that you seized, would they have been taken out of the magazine which has been entered into evidence as 211B?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
And I'm so sorry. Could I have parties approach just briefly?
yes.
Oh, you want me to vote? Yes. Okay.
Okay. So we'll just do this.
Okay, okay.
So the record. So regarding State's Exhibit 211, contained within State's Exhibit 211 was State's Exhibit 211A, which was the firearm that you seized from 74 Kimberly Lane, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And then State's Exhibit 211B, which was the magazine that goes inside of State's Exhibit 211A, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, now when you seized State's Exhibits 211A and 211B, was there anything contained within State's 211B?
Yes, ma'am.
And what was that?
The ammunition.
Okay, now when you take custody of this property, State's Exhibit 211A and State's Exhibit 211B, when you take custody of it and you go to package it to place it in the secure property room, do you leave the ammunition in the magazine or do you separate it out?
I separate them.
Okay, and so would that be contained within the box that is State's Exhibit 211?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and State's Exhibit 211 contains your identifying marks, name and badge number, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and so regarding what I am marking and showing you as State's Exhibit 211C, do you recognize what is State's Exhibit 211C?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and what is that?
The ammunition, which I took out of the magazine.
Okay, and so even though your identifying marks are not on State's Exhibit 211C, you are the individual that seized them and packaged them into State's Exhibit 211. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And so at this time, the state would offer State's Exhibit 211C.
May I take her on voir dire, Judge?
Yes.
Now, Deputy, looking at 211C, the prosecutor asked you about what it was, right?
Yes, sir.
And it's ammunition.
Yes, sir.
Okay. How many bullets?
I believe 18.
Did you mark your initials on the bullets?
Everything is packaged inside of this box, which is all entered as CYE1. So yes, I have it labeled as 18 SMB light browns.
Right. My question was, did you mark the bullets themselves with your initial, your badge number, anything?
Not the bullets themselves.
When you packaged them, did you put your initials or your name on? Because you said you got them, you got the gun, you took the magazine out, right? And then you emptied the clip or the magazine.
Yes, sir.
And what did you do with that?
I put them in a smaller envelope.
Okay. Did you initial the smaller envelope?
No, sir.
And so then you packaged the whole shebang, correct?
Yes, sir.
Into that box, which is 211 now, State's Exhibit 211.
Yes, sir.
Okay. But regarding the package of ammunition, you never marked on it with your badge number, did you?
No, sir.
Never put your initials on it.
No, sir.
Okay. And since you did all of that into this box, what did you do with the box then?
Once everything's placed in the box, it's sealed.
Okay. And to your knowledge, when you showed up yesterday and opened that box, which was still sealed, right?
Yes, sir.
But other people had touched it, correct?
Yes, sir.
Unsealed it, right?
Yes, sir.
I mean, for testing purposes.
Yes.
But you don't have any knowledge what happened to that box after you submitted it or put it into the locker room, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And then you get it back and you bring it to yesterday for this trial. Am I right?
Yes.
But you have no knowledge what happened within that box between then and now, correct?
Once it's processed after it's out of your hands, or?
You have no personal knowledge as to who touched it, right?
No, sir.
What they did with it, correct?
No.
Okay. But you can tell this jury that box was opened, right?
Yes.
Out of your presence.
Yes.
And people did things with it.
Yes.
And it's been in the locker room or the lab for at least 2.5 years, right?
I believe so.
Okay. So today you can't tell this jury that those items that you're talking about, these 18 ammo rounds in 211C, are in exactly the same condition that they were when you retrieved them. And you can't even tell this jury if they're the same 18 rounds that you retrieved on that day, can you? Yes or no? You're under oath here, Deputy.
I'm not sure, sir.
Right. So by not sure, you cannot tell this jury that they are the exact same rounds that you recovered on that day of February 23rd of 2023, correct?
I'm not sure, sir.
I need a yes or no, Detective. Deputy.
No, sir.
You cannot. You're not. This time we object to the introduction of this as evidence based on the chain of custody, based on the fact that she does not have personal knowledge as to which she testified, and thus it cannot come in.
State.
Judge, so the witness has testified that she's the first link in the chain, and the rest of the link will be laid with the next witness.
All right, then what the court will do is the court will sustain defense's objection until state you present the next witness.
Judge, can we approach?
Yes.
Okay. Now. Then moving on to State Exhibit 212. Yesterday, we kind of went through this, but just regarding State Exhibit 212, can you please tell the jury what item number that was of yours when you seized it?
CYE2,
And what did CYE2 contain?
the revolver and the 6 live rounds.
Okay. And does State Exhibit 212 contain your identifying marks by name and badge number?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and did you place what has been marked as State Exhibits 212 and 212A and 212B inside of State Exhibits 212?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and so regarding State Exhibit 212A, does that appear to be the firearm that you seized, or the revolver, excuse me, that you seized personally from 74 Kimberly Lane?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and when you seized that State Exhibit 212A, did State Exhibit 212A contain live rounds in it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and did you separate those from State Exhibit 212A?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and were they placed in what is now labeled as State Exhibit 212B?
Yes, ma'am.
And how many live rounds were there?
6.
Okay, and so at this time, the state would offer State Exhibit 212A into evidence. And regarding State's 212B, I'll lay the predicate.
All right.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
I said, at this time, the state is offering State's Exhibit 212A. And regarding State's 212B, the predicate will be laid with the next witness.
So regarding 212A, Deputy, your initials were on that, right? When you packaged the box and stuff?
Yes, sir.
No objection to 212A.
All right, 212A is admitted without objection.
Okay, and just regarding State's Exhibit 212B, although you did not place your identifying information on State's Exhibit 212B, are you the person that extracted the 6 live rounds that are labeled as State's Exhibit 212B from State's Exhibit 212A?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and when you took State's Exhibit 212B out of State's Exhibit 212A, did you package them and place them into State's Exhibit 212?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, after you collected all of the physical evidence that we have seen here today, and placed it in the secure property room, did you have any other duties in this case?
No, ma'am.
Okay, we pass the witness.
All right, defense.
Now, Deputy, what time did you enter that property on February 23rd of 2023?
I can't say, sir.
Would it be in your police report?
I'm not sure.
Can you look?
I don't have it.
It was marked as
It states Exhibit I.
No, sir. There's no specific times.
Do you recall whether it was day or night?
No, sir.
It's been so long, you don't really remember it, right?
What time I entered? No, sir.
Or whether it was day or night?
It was daytime when I arrived at the call.
You testified that you waited outside the property until you got called to come in, is that right?
A distance away from the property, yes, sir.
Okay, so outside the property or still on the property?
Outside of the property.
And what was the purpose of that?
To make sure the scene was secure before I entered.
And then did you get a radio call to come in or what?
I don't recall specifically if it was over the radio that the scene was taken.
And then you enter the scene, right?
Yes, sir.
And is it customary for you to talk to the detectives or the officer regarding what evidence they want you to do?
Yes, sir.
And who'd you talk to in this case?
I believe investigator Dominguez was one of them.
Where were you directed to obtain and recover property from?
74 Kimberly Lane.
No, not the address. When you were at the scene, what was the first thing you recovered?
I believe it was a firearm for the refrigerator.
Let's talk about that. You went and did somebody point it out to you? They said there's a gun in the refrigerator, or you went and looked in the refrigerator and found it?
I believe other deputies on scene had located it.
Okay. And so when you recovered it, did you recover it from inside the refrigerator?
No, sir.
Where was it?
Well, it was already, it was placed on a table.
Do you wear body cam?
No, sir.
Didn't the DA play a video for you at the scene recovering the stuff?
No, sir.
You didn't watch a video with you yesterday
No, sir.
involved in this incident?
No, sir.
And you're sure that you went and you got the gun from the table?
From the Tupperware. Yes, sir.
And they showed you a photo of it, correct?
Yesterday, yes. That's all.
Regarding 212B, you didn't put your initials on that either, did you?
When I package firearms and there's ammunition
Right, Deputy, I just need a yes or no.
on the box, yes.
On 212B, that's an envelope containing
Correct.
ammunition. Did you put your initials on that?
Correct, I didn't.
Why do you put your initials on the box?
Because that is one item of evidence. I'm not packaging the ammunition separately outside the box.
Right, but you put your initials to show that you handled this, right?
Yes, sir.
And you're positive that when you recovered the firearm in 211, it was on the table. Is that your testimony before this jury?
I'm not sure whether the item was taken out of the fridge and then I verified what was in it, or if it was already placed on the table from the fridge.
Was it your duty, once you recovered these items, to send them to the lab, or is that somebody else's duty?
That's someone else's duty.
Nothing further.
Dave,
And no further questions and excused, Your Honor.
excused?
Subject to recall, Judge.
All right, just make sure you're available if either party wishes to recall you. If you have any exhibits up there, please leave them with the court reporter. And if you'll leave your microphone behind, please. All right, state if you'll call your next witness.
The state calls David Pendleton.
All right, if you can raise your right hand, do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
All right, you may have a seat. There's a gray microphone up there. If you'll make sure it's somewhere on your lapel or shirt for the court reporter to hear.
Yes, ma'am.
It's the square microphone, gray.
Oh.
Thank you. And if
Is
you'll,
this okay?
yes, and if you'll state your name for the record and spell your last name.
My name is David Pendleton. That's Pendleton.
All right, are you able to hear?
Yes, you are.
All right, thank you. All right, state, you may proceed.
Good morning, Mr. Pendleton. How are you?
Morning, fine, thank you.
Can you please tell the jury how you are currently employed?
I am a firearms examiner at the Bexar County Criminal Investigation Laboratory, but most people just call it the crime lab.
And how long have you been employed with the Bexar County Crime Lab?
Over 20 years.
And in your 20 years with the crime lab, has your focus been on firearm analysis?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Can you please explain to the jury your educational background that qualifies you?
As far as education, I have a bachelor's degree in criminal justice and a master's degree in justice policy, both from the University of Texas at San Antonio. I am also a member of the Association of Firearm and Tool Mark Examiners, and I am certified in the area of firearms identification by that organization, as well as I'm a licensed analyst in the state of Texas.
Okay. And can you explain to the jury what your duties are as a firearms analysis with the Bexar County Crime Lab?
On a daily basis, I'm going to examine evidence submitted to the laboratory, generally firearms. With firearms, I will actually evaluate them for their safety, and then I will test fire them. I will also examine ammunition and ammunition components, such as fired cartridge cases and fired bullets. And I will attempt to make a determination if I can find a source of where those cartridge cases and bullets were fired from.
Okay. And have you testified regarding firearm analysis before?
Yes.
And does that include testifying in courts in this county?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you please tell the jury a little bit more about the Bexar County Crime Lab? Does it have any certifications or credentials?
Yes, we have accreditation under ANAB, which is the American National Institute of Standard Technologies National Accreditation Board.
Okay. And when you became employed with the Bexar County Crime Lab, did you have to take any additional training in the field of tool mark analysis?
Yes, ma'am. The majority of the training we receive is within the laboratory. Actually takes a few years. Also, we'll do outside training when available. Generally, that's through our annual training conference through the association I previously mentioned. And we are also required to be proficiency tested yearly by an outside agency.
Okay. Now, in your lab, do you have the ability to determine whether a specific bullet was fired from a particular firearm?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you please explain to the jury how this is done?
Well, the first thing we do if we have a firearm, we will actually test fire the weapon. I will either fire it into a range or I will fire it into a water tank, and I will collect both the cartridge cases and bullets, projectiles. I usually fire it twice. The reason we do this is because first we want to see if the firearm's operating the way it's supposed to, particularly in semi-automatic firearms. Is it loading, extracting, ejecting? Then we will take those two standards that we fired. We call them known standards. We know where they came from. They came from the firearm. So then I will use what's called a comparison microscope. This is essentially two microscopes that I can see the images side by side through one set of eyepieces and compare them side by side, hence comparison microscope. So the first thing I will do is I will look for what's called class characteristics. These are very broad and they're subsequent to manufacture, and they can be shared. For example, if you have a Glock Model 22 pistol, all Glock Model 22 pistols are going to share the same class characteristics. They're going to be very similar. They'll be different from other types of makes and models, but they'll share it within that group. From that, we will move on to what's called individual characteristics. And these are the very small imperfections that are left in the manufacturing process that are left individually from each subset. So we will make a comparison between questioned evidence. Well, first we'll look at the test evidence to see if we see reproducing markings. And then if we do, we'll compare both those class and individual characteristics and questioned items to see if we see those same markings.
Okay. And the methods that you've just explained to the jury, are those accepted by the scientific community?
Yes, ma'am.
And are they the most common method used to perform firearm analysis?
Yes, ma'am.
And in your vast training experience, have you found this method to be reliable?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, in your duties, is it routine for police agents in Bexar County to send evidence to your lab for analysis?
Yes, ma'am.
And can you kind of walk the jury through how that property gets to the crime lab and what is done with the property once it's at the crime lab?
So first of all, the crime lab is its own entity. We're not a part of the police department or the sheriff's office or the DA's office. We will be submitting agencies will submit evidence to the laboratory and make a request on a submission form, the type of analysis, whether it's DNA or drugs or firearms analysis. They will submit that evidence to our evidence receiving section. Once there, it follows an internal chain of custody. And by that, I mean, when I'm ready to work at the submission, the request is for firearms, I will go to the evidence receiving section. I will check out that evidence, put it in my custody. I will take it to my section. I will work do an examination. It will be reviewed by another examiner, and then I will complete the case. Once the case is completed, I will return it back to the evidence receiving section. And from that point, the outside agency will come and get it whenever they do.
Okay. All right. And when the evidence is received by the Bexar County Crime Lab, does it come in with a agency number from the submitting agency?
Generally, yes.
Okay, and then when the crime lab receives it, does the crime lab assign a unique identifier within the crime lab to the evidence?
Oh, yes, of course. We have the criminal investigation laboratory number, and it's specific to any items in that case, because there might be multiple items for different analysis in different sections, but they will all follow under that case number. And that usually corresponds to whatever the submitting agency's number was.
Okay. And so did the Bexar County Crime Lab receive evidence associated with suspects Marco Antonio Moreno Vasquez and Adis Hernandez Rivas?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and can you tell the jury what the agency number was regarding the property that was received from the crime lab?
Okay, actually, this is a sheriff's office number.
Yes.
And it is 23003526.
And what was the CIL number assigned by the crime lab to this evidence?
23-01349.
Okay. Now I'm gonna show you some items of the evidence. So I'm going to show you what has already been entered into evidence as State's Exhibit 211. Can you take a look at State's Exhibit 211 and tell me if you recognize any of the case numbers that are assigned to this?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And so what is that CIO number?
Written on top as it's received at the laboratory, the evidence receiving section will issue with a number, in this case 23-01349.
Okay. And so regarding the items of evidence, I'm going to go ahead and open up State's Exhibit 211, which contains inside State's Exhibit 211A, 211B, and 211C. So regarding States Exhibits 211A and 211B, did you receive these items into your personal custody?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you notate them with a different, like, evidence number in your report that you did?
Yes, I will further assign these item numbers as I inventory the evidence.
Okay, and so regarding States Exhibit 211A, how did you notate that in your report?
So this would have been referenced in my report as item 2-1.
Okay, and that would have been accompanied with 211B, is that correct?
Yes, and that would be 2-2.
Now regarding States Exhibits 211C, can you take a look at that and tell me if you recognize any of the markings on there?
Yes, ma'am.
And what markings do you recognize?
All of the interior packaging, I will write the CIL number, the date I opened the package, my initials, and the item number I assigned them, which in this case is 2-3.
Okay, and so you had received States Exhibits 211C in your personal custody, and those are your identifying marks, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, at this time, the state would offer 211C into evidence.
May I take Mr. Pendleton under voir dire, Judge?
Yes.
Now, Mr. Pendleton, you just told this jury that under items 211A, B, and C, under A, what markings did you put on that?
On A, is that
On A.
is that the pistol?
Yes.
My initials.
Why?
It helps me identify that is the pistol I looked at.
When you see it later, correct?
Yes, sir.
Probably in front of a jury, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you put your initials on A. What else did you put on it?
The CIL number
Okay.
and the item number that I assigned it.
Why do you put a CIL number on it?
Once again, so it's easily found and I can identify it back.
And
If it had gotten separated or something, I would be able to find it.
Basically, you put all three items on there to show that you handled it. This is the same item that you looked at earlier, right? Whether it's a day earlier, a year earlier, 2.5 years earlier.
Yes, sir, that's correct.
Basically for security, so you are sure that this item is the same one that I looked at 2.5 years and tested, right?
Yes, sir.
So there are no mistakes.
Hopefully no. Yes, sir.
Because mistakes happen, correct?
Absolutely, yes.
Even in labs,
Yes, sir.
even in secure labs.
Yes, they do.
I mean, didn't that happen in the OJ case?
Honestly, I mean, even though I followed that a long time, I don't remember exactly everything that happened, but I wouldn't be surprised. Yes, sir.
I mean, that was a circus.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let's talk about 211B. Did you do the same thing? You put your initials, the CIL number, and the item number
Yes, sir.
for the same reason.
Yes, yes, sir.
And on item C, did you put all three items?
Yes, sir.
Now, you try to be professional.
Yes, sir, I do.
Precise.
Yes, sir.
To not put that stuff on there opens one up to not being professional, correct?
Well, not only that, it's also a component of our standard operating procedures that it's a requirement that if possible and practical, that we put at a minimum an item number, individual item number. So it's part of our procedure.
So Judge, we still maintain our objection to 211C, the fact that this professional did all of these extra things, not only initial, but a case number, an item number on 211C, whereas the previous witness didn't even bother with any of that. So our objection is improper predicate laid, and because of that, it ruins the chain of custody. It should not come in.
All right, response from the state, and that's to 211C, correct?
Correct.
Yes.
All right.
So regarding 211C, the previous witness testimony was that she seized it, that she
I'm going to
used
object
it.
to the testimony being mentioned
Well,
earlier.
I need
All
to-
right, that'll be overruled.
She testified that she seized exhibit 211C and placed it inside the box of 211, which contained her name and badge number. And so that's the first link in the chain. And now we've laid the last link in the chain, which is Mr. Pendleton testifying that he received that property from the Bexar County Sheriff's Office and conducted an analysis and put all of his identifying marks on there. And so at this time, we offer State's Exhibit 211s.
All right, defense objection will be overruled. State's Exhibit 211C is admitted.
Now, I'm also going to further ask you regarding State's Exhibit 211A, did you notate in your report where you've labeled it as 2-1, did it come with a label that was assigned by the agency?
I don't recall something on the outside of the pistol, no.
Okay. Maybe on State's Exhibit 211.
Yes, they usually notate annotations on the box.
Okay, and so what would that have been?
They gave it CYE1.
Okay, and when you worked the case and you labeled it as 2-1, did you notate in your report that 2-1 is CYE1?
Yes, generally in our report, I will list the item number, my description of that item, and if they put a number on it, sometimes they don't, I will put in parentheses whatever that number may happen to be.
Okay. Okay, so now I'm going to show you what has been entered into evidence as State's Exhibit 65. And I'm going to open State's Exhibit 65, which contains therein State's Exhibit 65A, State's Exhibit 65B, 65C, and 65D. Now, can you please take a look at those and tell me if you recognize any markings? As well as State's Exhibit 66.
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Okay, and what markings do you recognize on State's Exhibit 65 through 65A through D and 27?
The CIO number that I mentioned earlier that I wrote on the package, the date I opened the package, my initials, and an item number that I assigned these 4 items.
Okay, and so you recognize your information on all these exhibits, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, now regarding State's Exhibit 65A, that was, do you know how you labeled that in your report?
Yes, this would be 4-1-4.
Okay, and State's Exhibit B?
4-1-3.
State's Exhibit C?
4-1-2.
And State's Exhibit D?
4-1-1.
And I'm sorry, just for the record, that was 65 C and D. Okay, and so did you take State's Exhibit 65A, B, C, and D and conduct an analysis to determine whether—
Object to the leading judge.
Overruled.
I'm gonna start over. Did you take State's Exhibit 65A, B, C, and D and conduct an analysis to determine if they were fired from State's Exhibit 211A?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and can you tell the jury how you did that?
So once again, I would look at this evidence and I would first look at the class characteristics and I'll compare them to each other as well. Look at the class characteristics, see if they're similar. Then I will also compare them to any tests that I conducted from the pistol to see if they share those same class characteristics. If the class characteristics were different, I would just stop my analysis and exclude it on that. If they're the same, which they were in this instance, I would move further to look for individual markings, which I did in this case.
Okay. And just regarding state's exhibits, 65A, B, D, and C, those were marked by the agency as, can we go through that? Regarding state's exhibit 65A, how was that notated by the agency?
This one was CA-4.
Okay, and
Which one are we looking at?
65A. And state's exhibit 65B, what was the agency designation?
CA-3.
And state's exhibit 65C
CA-1.
and state's exhibit 65.
CA-2.
Okay, and so after you conducted your analysis on state's exhibit 65A through D, did you form an opinion as to whether they were fired from state's exhibit 211A?
Yes, ma'am.
And what is that opinion?
My opinion is that they were fired in this pistol.
Okay. And can you kind of just explain to the jury using the demonstrative about the firing pin and the markings that are left?
Sure. So this is a demonstrative aid that I usually bring. There's an unfired cartridge. I usually bring it because people call it different things. They call it a bullet, they call it ammo, brass, that's fine. But there's actually 4 components to it. One obviously being the cartridge case body. There's a component here, the circle is called a primer. And inside is the 3rd component, which is the gunpowder. And the 4th is the bullet or the projectile, but referred to as bullet. And the way this works in the firearm, as it's loaded in, whether it's a revolver or semi-automatic, it doesn't matter. Well, we'll use a semi-automatic. The firing pin, our mechanism is used to release the firing pin, will strike the primer. The primer has a compound in it that will cause a small explosion, which will enter a hole in the cartridge case and ignite the gunpowder. The gunpowder is going to combust rapidly, causing pressures that in a semi-automatic will cause the projectile to enter the barrel and traverse the barrel and exit the barrel. Some of the gases will cause the slide to recoil and the spent cartridge case will be extracted, will hit a post in the weapon and ejected. And as the slide comes forward, it will actually strip another out of the magazine and load it. So in that firing process, the firing pin impression itself, just think of it as a negative impression of the surface of the firing pin. There's also this whole area here we call the breech face. That's the area that the cartridge is resting in the slide. Also a negative impression. All of the scraping and moving, you have to remember that these cartridges are made from softer materials, softer metals than the seals of the firearm. So all that action is going to leave marking on the bearing surface of the firing pin, breech face, areas of the cartridge case. On a projectile, it would leave markings on what's called the rifling of the barrel. That's all through the firing process.
Okay, and so regarding what you've described as the casing, is that commonly referred to as by laypersons as like shell casing?
Yes.
Okay, and the projectile as a whole, is that typically referred to by laypersons as like a live round?
Yes.
Okay, and so based on what you've just explained to the jury about the markings that are left on the casing, is that what you look at in your analysis to make your determination?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And so you've testified that you determined that state's exhibits 65A through D, it was your opinion that they were fired from state's exhibit 211.
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now I'm gonna go ahead and and so now I'm going to show you state's exhibit 216 and 216A, B, C, and D. Can you take a look at these and tell me if you recognize any identifying marks?
Only online.
Okay. And so what number is that you recognize the identifying marks?
The exhibit number,
Yes.
216B.
Okay. And what was the agency designation that was on that?
Looks like CYE7.
Okay. And what number did you assign that when you did your analysis?
4-3.
Okay. And did you form an opinion as to whether State's Exhibit 216B was fired out of State's Exhibit 211A?
Yes, ma'am.
And what was that opinion?
It's actually a completely different class, so it could not have been fired as this one.
Okay. Now I'm going to show you what has been entered into evidence as State's Exhibit 215. Judge, if I can just have a moment because this wasn't open.
Yes.
Judge, can we search?
Yes.
Jury?
All right, everyone, please be seated. And state is still your witness.
Thank you. Mr. Pendleton, so I'm showing you what has been entered into evidence as exhibit 215, and then contained within 215, I'm gonna show you what is state's exhibits 215A, 215B, 215C, 215D, 215E, 215F, and 215G. Can you take a look at these things and tell me if you recognize your identifying marks on them?
I do.
Okay. Now regarding 215A, can you please tell me what was the agency designation?
This one.
Yes.
CYE5.
And when you received it into your custody, what designation did you give it?
4-2-1.
And regarding State's Exhibit 215B, can you tell me what was the agency designation? If it contained.
Oh, CYE-5.
And what was the designation that you gave it?
4-2-2.
And regarding State's Exhibit 215C, what was the agency designation?
CYE5-A.
And the designation that you gave it?
4-2-3.
And regarding State's Exhibit 215D, what was the agency designation?
CYE5-B.
And what was the designation that you gave it?
4-2-4.
And regarding State's Exhibit 215E, what was the agency designation?
CYE5-C.
And the designation that you gave it?
4-2-5.
And State's Exhibit 215F, what was the agency designation?
CYE5-D.
And what was your designation?
4-2-6.
And then regarding State's Exhibit 215G, what was the agency designation?
CYE5-E.
And then what was your designation?
4-2-7.
And so regarding State's Exhibits 215A through 215G inclusive, did you receive these in your personal custody from the Bear County Sheriff's Office?
Yes, ma'am.
And you recognize the case number and your initials and date on State's Exhibit 215A through 215G and inclusive?
Yes, ma'am.
And Your Honor, at this time, the state would offer State's Exhibits 215A through G inclusive.
Any objections?
No objections.
All right, and are you also entering 215 as well?
215 was entered, yes,
Okay, thank you.
I believe.
All right, so state's exhibits 215A through G are admitted without objection.
Okay, Mr. Pendleton, now regarding State's Exhibits 215A through D, or through G, excuse me, did you conduct a scientific analysis to determine whether they were fired from State's Exhibits 211A?
Yes, ma'am.
And were you able to form an opinion after your analysis as to whether State's Exhibits 215A through G were fired from State's Exhibit 211A?
Yes, ma'am.
And what was that opinion?
That they were fired in that pistol.
Okay. Now I'm gonna go put this back in place. And did you come to that opinion based on the prior scientific analysis strategy that you previously explained to the jury?
Yes, ma'am.
Now regarding State Exhibit 66 that has been entered into evidence, do you recognize your identifying marks on that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and were you able to conduct any scientific analysis on State's Exhibit 66?
I did. There was really no value. It's just too small of a fragment.
Okay, can you explain to the jury what a fragment is?
Oh, certainly. Can I use the demonstrative
Yeah.
thing? So, in modern ammunition, usually in pistol ammunition of this caliber. It's generally the interior is a lead core. Lead is what they used to use in the past, but the problem with lead is that once it gets hot, it melts quickly. So it tends to foul up the barrel, those landing grooves, it fills them up to the point where the purpose of that is to have your bullet spin. They can't spin. So to get over that, modern ammunition, it has been for quite some time, has what's called a jacket around the lead core. That jacket can be made of generally copper, but it can be made of brass, sometimes steel. In firing, and sometimes when it hits a object, they'll tend to separate. So this is what's called the jacket. But there can be little pieces of jacket that we find. There can also be little pieces of lead, and I can't really do anything with those because without having the bearing surface area that I use to identify things. So I usually just write those as no value, unless there's something I can determine, like they're the calibers.
Thank you very much. All right, now regarding State's Exhibit 212, can you tell me if you recognize any writings on that?
Yes, ma'am.
And what would that be?
The CIO number, the date I opened this item, my initials, and the item number that I signed the box.
Okay, and can you tell the jury what State's Exhibit 212, what item that was labeled as by your lab?
3.
Okay, and if we open up State's Exhibit 212, contained therein is State's Exhibit 212A and State's Exhibit 212B. Do you recognize any markings on State's Exhibits 212A or B?
Yes.
Okay, so both 212A and B contain.
Okay.
Okay, did you conduct any analysis regarding State's Exhibit 212A?
Yes.
And how did you label that in your report?
3-1 would be the revolver, and 3-2 is the unfired ammunition that came with it.
Okay. And so regarding State's Exhibit 212B, did you receive this in your personal custody from the Bexar County Sheriff's?
Yes.
And so you recognize the case number, your initials, and the date that you received it into custody?
Yes.
This time the state would offer State's Exhibit 212B.
Defense, any objection to 212B?
If I can take them on voir dire, Judge?
Yes.
Now, Mr. Pendleton, looking at State's Exhibit number 212, it has your initials on it, correct?
Yes, this is the, yes, sir.
On the box.
Yes.
Who else's initials are on there?
There's a number of initials. I couldn't say who they are.
So are there lines for each initial?
Lines?
Are there
No.
lines delineated on the box?
There are lines that's stamped on the box to where you can write information. There's other things that are outside those lines, like
Okay. So where are your initials on 212?
right here. I generally write in red so I can find it quickly.
Okay. So these 3 lines here is what you wrote on it?
Yes, sir.
I was looking at 212. You probably can't see this, but you'll get this later. So these 3 lines in red ink, you wrote.
Yes.
Okay. This writing up here in blue, who wrote that?
That would be from the evidence receiving section. When in this case, the sheriff's office brings it, they will assign it this number. And so I believe those are Lily's. It's hard. I don't know.
Okay, so this is an employee at the lab?
Yes, sir. It is an employee of the laboratory.
Somebody separate from you?
Yes, sir.
Somebody separate from law enforcement?
Yes, sir.
So, okay, that's 2 people that read on it. Who wrote this stuff here?
If this has gone to another section for another evaluation, or I don't know why they would do it, DSR or DNA or something, that section analyst would also write that information.
So that's a
Third person.
third person or entity that has touched this item and ridden it, probably opened it, correct?
Yes, sir.
And what's this over here?
I don't know, but I would assume that would be the Bear County people, CSI people, I guess.
Who submitted?
I don't know if necessarily submitted, but whoever sealed the box.
Okay, so that's a fourth entity, correct?
Yeah.
All right. What is this here?
Once again, probably someone from it's not someone from our laboratory,
But,
it looks like a badge number.
right, so it could be law enforcement agency, could be another lab.
Yes, sir.
So that's a fifth touching of this box, correct?
Yes, sir.
What's here?
That's mine.
Okay, so we know this is your writing here.
Yes, sir. After I seal the box on my last, I will put my initials and the date that I'm sealing. And I usually do this long one, so it shows I cover both areas.
And looking at this in 212 in evidence, can you tell how many times it's been sealed and unsealed?
At least 3, because the dark red tape is gonna be the submitting agency. We won't accept it unless it's sealed. I see my evidence tape on it, and I also see some additional crime lab tape. So most likely the third analyst, wherever, I'm not sure where else this went into the laboratory.
Okay. And we're talking about, now let's talk about 212B, which is not in evidence, correct?
I thought that's what you were taking him.
Yes, I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah. It's not.
Okay, I didn't realize you were behind me, sorry. So on this, tell us what writings are on it. I mean, you've kind of answered that to the jury, but I just want to clarify that.
Northern states stuff.
Right.
I see 2 seals. One would be my seal, where I have my date and initials that I sealed it. And another is EH and the date that they opened it and sealed it. So wherever that, I think that might be a DNA analyst, I'm not sure.
Okay, so we know for sure it's been opened by you once, but
Yes.
by somebody else.
In the crime lab, yes.
And it's been in the lab, theoretically in this lab that's secure, correct, for at least over 2.5 years.
I don't know if it was that long. I'd have to look to see when it was submitted.
Does your
Good.
report say when it was submitted?
Yes, it was submitted on May the 2nd, 2023. And I issued a report on December 18th, 20, so less than a year, but a long time. And I don't know how long that may have been why, I think they might have had to analyze it before I
Okay,
did.
and you can't tell this jury who all touched it and what happened with it before you looked at it.
Not without looking at our limbs chain of custody, no.
And you can't tell this jury who looked at it and touched it after you did, right?
No, sir.
You touched it back in December of 2023?
Correct.
We're now in July of 2026?
Yes, sir.
So over 2.5 years,
Oh,
correct?
yes, sir.
Okay. I'm gonna continue with my objection, Judge, that it's improper predicate, that there's a lack of chain of custody. And so it does not bear the authenticity of not being tampered with and thus should not come in.
All right, state.
Judge, we have made the predicate for the first and the last link, and so this will wait not admissibility, and we are offering 6-212B.
All right, 212B is admitted.
All right, Mr. Pimpleton, so regarding State's Exhibit 212A, did you conduct an analysis to ensure that it was able to be fired?
Yes, ma'am.
And what was the result of that analysis?
It was in working order.
Okay, and did you receive any shell casings or excuse me, cartridges or ammunition to do a comparison regarding Exhibit 212A?
Not for this one. It's a different caliber than the other evidence.
Okay. Now regarding Exhibit 212A, which is a revolver, can you tell the jury, does a revolver eject shell casings like a semi-automatic weapon? Can you please explain that?
Can I read it? Sure, it's fine. So a revolver, obviously you have the frame, the barrel, trigger and hammer. This here is called the cylinder. Within the cylinder are several chambers where you will put your cartridge. Different revolvers have different ways of loading them. This actually is what's called a loading gate, where you would actually pop the hammer back slightly so you can turn the cylinder, put in a cartridge, put in a cartridge, put in a cartridge. Once you're done loading it, and I would have to check to see how many this holds. I think it's 6, but maybe more. Once it's in this position, you would cock the hammer. In this case, it's a single action. So what happens is that as the hammer cocks, the cylinder rotates, puts the chamber in line with the barrel. When you pull the trigger, the hammer will drop, push the firing pin to strike the cartridge. In this case, it's a 22 caliber rim fire, so it's going to strike somewhere on the rim, cause it to fire. In that cartridge case, the bullet will exit the barrel, the cartridge case will stay in the cylinder. When you cock it again, another cartridge chamber moves in line, and the empty chamber moves around, but the cartridges stay inside.
Okay. Now I'm going to bring you to exhibit 211A. And if you could just explain to the jury how shell casings are ejected and the difference from the revolver.
So the difference with this, when you say semi-automatic, the magazine itself is a box that will have cartridges loaded into it, and they will be basically kept in the magazine by the lips of the magazine will curve over to keep them in. You would insert it into the butt of the magazine, and it will actually be under the slide of the pistol, and it'll be under spring tension. Now I can't do it because this is locked, but it's fine. So the way you would load it at this point is you would pull the slide to the rear. This portion right here would clear where the magazine is, so the cartridge will pop up slightly. Then the slide will go forward, and it'll catch the very bottom of the cartridge and load it and slide it into the chamber, loading it. At that point, it's ready to fire. When you pull the trigger, the firing pin strikes primer, does that whole thing we talked about earlier. That will cause the bullet to go down the barrel. And as the slide comes back, which we'll call recoil, that cartridge case will get extracted. Once it fires, it will be getting extracted, and it will eject. The spent cartridge case ejects, and then when the slide comes forward, it will load another cartridge. Now, this is semi-auto, so this will continue every time you pull the trigger, but it requires a pull the trigger and a let go of the trigger so it can reset. It's just not going to keep firing. And it'll do that as many times as you pull the trigger or until you run out of ammunition. On your last ammunition, when you fire the last round or ammunition, the slide will actually lock back because a little portion in the magazine will actually stick up high enough to where it catches the slide when it comes forward. That's how you know you're empty.
Okay, Mr. Pendleton. And so can you just tell the jury on what date these items of evidence were received by the Bexar County Crime Lab?
Received by the Sheriff's Office on May 2nd, 2023.
Okay, so the crime lab would have received the evidence from the Sheriff's Office on May 2nd of 2023?
Yes, they would have been submitted to the receiving section.
Okay, and then on what date did you personally obtain it from the receiving section?
I would have to check I guess more than likely those dates a few days before, and then I issued a report on the December 18th, 2023.
Okay, And once you completed your analysis, do you return all of the evidence to the evidence receiving section within the crime lab?
Yes.
Okay, and then from there, does it go back to the sheriff's office?
If there is no other analysis needed to be done, but generally by the time it gets to firearms, we're usually the last stop. If there's any type of DNA or trace, it goes to them first.
Okay. We pass the witness, Your Honor.
Defense.
Thank you, Judge. Now, Mr. Pendleton, being that you're an expert with guns, you just testified that the 4 spent shell casings that you examined came back as being fired from the gun in 211, correct?
Yes, sir.
And that's a semi-automatic.
Yes, sir.
So as you testified, it has a magazine. Once it's fired, the spent shell casing's kicked out. Okay. You were only given those 4 spent shell casings to compare to these 2 weapons, correct?
No, actually, sir, I was getting a number of items, more than the 4 cartridge cases.
Right, but those specific 4 that came back to have been ejected out of that one gun in 212. Regarding those 4, there were no other spent shell casings that you got. Well, strike that. We know that they didn't come out of 212 because it's a revolver.
Yes, sir.
Right, so you didn't even have to test it because different types of ammo.
Correct. One's a 22 caliber, which is very, very small, versus a 9mm.
And so also with a revolver, they stay in the weapon as opposed to a semi-automatic.
Yes,
which is in 211.
yes, sir. I'm trying to get the number.
Right.
The pistols.
I'm just trying to get this.
No, I
down.
understand, sir.
So, given a scenario, since you are an expert, if only 4 if you were to have 2 weapons at one scene, both semi-automatics, however times they fired, those spent shell casings would have been ejected, correct?
Yes, sir. It's working properly.
And just generally, based on your experience, if I were to fire a gun at my computer with a semi-automatic, it'd shoot out a spent shell casing each time I fire.
Yes, sir.
When it ejects, it could go either way, right? Left or right, but usually it goes right.
It generally goes right, but they can go forward right, they can go rear right, they can go upright. And that's if you're holding the firearm in its proper orientation, not like this, as I've seen some people do. But generally, yes, it should go in the right.
And so if I were to fire at my computer right now, the spent shell casings should theoretically be around me.
They would be to your right, assuming they haven't hit objects and bounced and things like that.
Right. And that's where life gets involved. Things happen.
Yes.
They could bounce off the prosecutor,
Absolutely.
come back behind me,
Yes.
could bounce off of her, hit me on the head, hit my friend here, Marco, in the head, and bounce over here behind this desk.
Yes, sir.
Right. Also, people, if they're laying on the ground, people could walk by and kick them, correct?
Yes, sir.
Cars could drive over them.
Absolutely.
Okay. Somebody with a magnetic personality could actually attract them and walk off with them, correct?
Well, actually, they're not magnetic, but I understand. Yes.
So assuming you have 2 people firing semi-automatic weapons at a location, let's say in this room, okay? So the prosecutor and I are both firing at our computers. However times we shoot, there should be those spent shell casings theoretically in this area.
Theoretically, yes.
And so if only 4 spent shell casings are found in this area here between the prosecutor and me, or just around us, that would lead one to conclude that probably how many shots were fired?
In that scenario, and you only had 4 cars, no one saw it, you would assume that there would be at a minimum 4.
Right. There could be more if other shots were fired, but we don't know, correct?
Correct.
Now regarding your job and your profession, you're all about the science, correct?
Yes,
You don't know what happened where regarding this case or any other case, correct?
correct. Well, like I said, we're a private entity, but we're not involved in actual investigation, so to speak. I mean, yes, we investigate the evidence submitted, but we usually don't know any of the aspects of what actually happened.
So you can't tell this jury here that Marco Moreno Vasquez, sitting next to me, did anything in this case, correct?
Correct,
Fired that gun in 211,
correct,
fired the gun in 212.
correct.
No further questions, Judge, for this witness?
State.
No further questions and excuse, Your Honor.
Excused.
All right, if you will leave whatever exhibits you have with the court reporter. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna give you all your lunch break at this time. And so I'm going to ask that you all be back by 1:45. Is that enough time for you all to walk if you need to walk somewhere for lunch? All right, don't rush eating, let it digest. All right, and please remember